Janjaweed can overwhelm us is by dividing us. If you are an agent of Fulani Caliphate, if you have come to do the bidding of Fulani Janjaweed in our land, I am asking you this very evening to retrace your steps. Because again, starting from this very day, anywhere Biafrans are killed, any governor, any police commissioner who tolerates the massacre of innocent people will pay very dearly for it. Will pay very, very dearly for it.
I have become your last bus stop. And said it from the beginning till now. I will be your end until Biafra come.
And what we want to make abundantly clear is that we are warning everybody who is a stakeholder in the zoo about our determination and our resolve to ensure that our land is defended. This is a resolution we have reached, and it is cast in stone. Amen. And you will now say, na to na jamma na nsopuru site na ebige bi maro na ebige ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much.
When they sold Mazen Nandekano, that was when even the real mandate came out. Mazen Nandekano himself gave the mandate when he said that we are going to march after 150 days. And they talked, and when they kidnapping at the march program. Today, Mazen Nandekano, being an anointed person, already anointed somebody to pick up, even if he's not there. And that was why when he was making program, he said, you know what to do, even if I'm not there. And for those who are deaf and dumb, who can understand his language, he told them, burn down the zoo. But today, you see all those saboteurs. They feel that they pretend not to know what to do. Even when Mazen Nandekano has spelled it out, today, the only group that is still building on the freedom of Mazen Nandekano is the autopiloted IPOB by Chukwu Kabiam, under the spokesperson of Mansam Manema, the Biafra spokesperson. And unless you from Mazen Nandekano, they are still standing firm, making sure that every legacy of Mazen Nandekano is protected, making sure that Biafra actualization becomes a reality, not a dream. And when you look at the plans on the ground, if you see things that are happening, you will see Biafra staring at you. For a very long time, I've been seeing Biafra, I've been smelling Biafra, I've been breathing Biafra, I eat Biafra, I live in it. For a very long time, I live in it. I don't see Biafra as a dream. But for those of you who are still seeing Biafra as a dream, sorry, you must have to clear your eyes again. Wake up, wipe your eyes, then you see yourself in Biafra. Clear your eye. Just take something and wash your face so that you can be in Biafra. When you leave Biafra, live the life of Biafra, see Biafra, live it as a reality. Nobody's going to confuse you. You don't need to be asking, where are we going? You don't need to be asking, what is the roadmap? You don't need to be asking who is on the right path and who is not on the right path. You will see the truth. See at your face. Because the state we are today, nothing is hidden anymore. Nothing is hidden anymore. The response of the Biafra people, they said, look at today, total lockdown after so many years. After more than a year that they have tried to stop the statute. They tried by bribery. They tried by paying them money. They tried by force. They tried by attacking people. They try by killing Biafras. They try by blackmail. They try by all manner of things. They try by even taking the life of Biafran to see that we do not see that too. But against all those attacks, go and check the record today. Today is Monday. Biafran land is under lock and key. and it's going to get worse as we're going. If they refuse to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is going to get worse as the time goes on. We have stepped it up. Today, it is not just sit at home. It is not just sit at home. All along, we have been coming gradually with civil disobedience, different kind of civil disobedience. But when we saw that the ultimate goal that we have to achieve is Biafra, and the only way to go about it is by equipping ourselves. Today, the game has been stepped up. Biafra is no longer just on struggle. We are in the liberation move. And in that liberation, you don't liberate yourself with empty hand. That is why Biafran people have taken up arms to defend themselves. Because when you want to save yourself from your enemy, you have to prepare yourself very, very well. I mean, ourselves is out of self-defense. We are asking for independence. We are not asking for war. We are asking for self-determination. We are not asking for war. But since the enemy, since the Pharaoh that we are asking for to let us go has refused, instead have brought war upon us, we cannot fold our hands and continue to die. We have to protect ourselves by all means possible. And that is why today, the Biafran people have taken up arms to protect themselves. It is called self-defense. That is what it is. So if anybody is telling you that they're going to call you a terrorist, they're going to call you this, let them be. Do not listen to any blackmail of anybody. Anybody blackmailing you that they will call you terrorist, they will do it. Let me tell you, if you are afraid of being called a terrorist, that means you're not ready for your freedom. Our speaker Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it in his own word. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it. If you are still afraid of being called a terrorist, you are not ready for your freedom. Because every genuine agitator in the past, every genuine people that have fought for their freedom, at one point in time, we are called terrorists. People that fought for the freedom of their own people, at one point in time, they were called terrorists. Mandela, that is being celebrated all over the world today. When you mention the name of Mandela, any place you go, they call him the most peaceful man and the most recognized man. Mandela, that is celebrated today, Mandela was called a terrorist by the British. The ANC was called a terrorist organization by the British. They named them terrorists. Martin Luther King, that you worship today, that you see him and you adore him. Martin Luther King, at a point in time, he was called a terrorist. He was seen as a terrorist by the United States. They looked at him as a terrorist, but did he stop? At the end of the day, he is the person that has been celebrated all over the world. When you talk about peace, you talk about legitimacy, you talk about sincerity, you talk about justice, you mention Martin Luther King. You talk about justice, you talk about equity, you talk about good life, you mention Mandela. These are people who have been demonized, including Gandhi. Gandhi, who fought for his own people for the hand of Britain. At a time, Gandhi was named a terrorist. Gandhi of India, at a point in time, they were looking at him as a terrorist. Each time you wake up to fight for your freedom, expect your enemy, expect your oppressor to give you a manner of name. They will give the dog a bad name to kill the dog. But are you going to stop because you're going to give it a bad name? Are you expecting a good name from your enemy while you're fighting to get out of it, get your freedom? Are you expecting that your enemy will be laughing at you or will be embracing you or be cheering you up while you're fighting for your freedom? It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. So if anybody is going to tell you that maybe they're going to call you a terrorist when you do this, let me tell you, the enemy will always give you a bad name. If you are one of those expecting the enemy to give you a beautiful name, you don't know what you are doing. You don't know what you're fighting for. You don't know what you're in for. You don't know what you're in for. If you are fighting for your freedom, genuinely fighting for your freedom, expect them to call you all manner of names. But the most important thing is, are you fighting for justice? Are you fighting for the right cause? That is the most important. The question that matters and the name that matters is the name that you give to yourself. And the name that Chukwu gives you. What is your conscience telling you? Let me tell you, it is not the wish of any Biafra to take the life of the innocent. We have not taken any life of the innocent. It is not the wish of the Biafra for any innocent person to die, regardless your religion, regardless your tribe, your location, or where you belong. It is not our wish that anybody will lose his life. Any innocent person must not lose his or her life. But remember, while all these troubles are going on, while challenges are coming in, there will be collateral damage. There will always be. There will always be collateral damage. That is why it is necessary that we pass the information we are passing. That is why it is necessary that we broadcast. That is why it is necessary that we say what we are saying, to let the world know what the problem is, how the solution can come, and what we have to do to protect ourselves. This is why we come online on a daily basis to speak. That is why you must pay attention. It is not the wish of the Biafran. The Biafran are people who love life. Biafrans mainly, we love life. We don't play with life. That is why in Biafra, in Igbo language, we call human being Mando. In Igbo language, we call human being Mando. That is the beauty of life. The beauty of life, to show you how we regard life. It is not something you play with. Biafrans do not have joy in taking the life of innocent. They don't try it. You don't take the life of innocent. You don't do that. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter their tribe, their religion, or their belief, or their section. You don't take the life of innocent. You try as much as possible to avoid taking the life of the innocent. But if that person who have chosen to commit suicide, how can we help you? We cannot help you. If a man decides to take his or her own life, what can you do? We are in a world today where they say that people have the right to do what they want to do. In 21st century, there are some countries that have permitted you to take your own life. If you want to take your life, you have the right to take it. That is how the world, that is the kind of freedom the world have been preaching for themselves. In some countries, they permit you to take your own life. They call it mercy killing. It happens in so many places. So, if you are a Biafran or you are in the Zuleka Republic and you have decided to commit suicide, to offer your own life for sacrifice, we cannot help you. Only Chukwu Okabema, who is in heaven, will judge. Only Chukwu Okabema will judge. That is why when we see you become a stumbling block, when you have become a hindrance, Mazin Nandekano say, we take you to God for judgment. That's what we do. We send you to Chukwu Okabema for judgment. You cannot stand in between. You are not going in and you're not coming out. You cannot be a hindrance to the coming of Biafra. You cannot be an obstacle. If you become an obstacle, you are not cold and you are not hot. You can't be lukewarm. You are either cold or you're hot. You are either a Biafra or you're not. You are either supporting Biafra or not. You cannot be supporting the terrorist government and at the same time telling them that you're a Biafra. It doesn't work that way. When you are standing as a stumbling block, we are going to vomit you out. I will hand you to Chukwu Okabema to judge you. That is what the Biafran do. We send people to God to judge them. We don't have the right to judge anybody. We don't. Mazin Nandekano said it. When somebody called him and said, what are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about this who are coming against us? Mazin Nandekano said, we are going to send them to God for judgment. And that is the state we are today. Today, Wotowoto everywhere. Wotowoto for the enemies. Wotowoto for the Zuleka Republic. And let me tell you, if you are one of those they have employed as an instrument to come and oppress Biafra, to come and take the life of Biafra, you cannot return back alive. It's a promise. You can't return back alive. The Supreme Leader of IPOB made that very, very clear. And Chukwu Okabema signed it, that any man, any woman, no matter your religion, no matter your tribe, even if you are an Igbo tribe, and you come to Biafra land to take the life of innocent Biafra, regardless under which cover you are coming, regardless under which force you are coming, you can never, ever have a home to return to. You will never have a home to return to. Mazin Nandekano made it clear, and Chukwu Okabema signed it, and we are standing on that today. If you are one of the instruments they are using to oppress the Biafrans, if you are one of those, you have made yourself a tool in the hand of the caliphate to come and oppress the Biafran people. Sorry for you. Sorry. Sorry. You see the importance of coming to online to broadcast? The importance of coming online to broadcast is to give you information. You wouldn't say you are not one. For a very time, a long time. They wanted, even while Mazin Nandekano was with us, at a stage, Mazin Nandekano even gave out a number for those of them who feel that they don't have any other means of livelihood. They feel they don't have any other means of livelihood because the Zuleka Republic have impoverished them so much that they have been impoverished in their mind, in their brain, in their senses. Mazin Nandekano gave them option, gave a number, call that number. If you are a military man or a police, you want to resign, call that number and you come in and Biafra people will take care of you. Mazin Nandekano went that further to do that. And could you imagine that even some of them came in and they were sabotaging? Mazin Nandekano, many of them came in, we are paid 3 months' salary in advance, more than they were paid before. And some of them, they came in and they began to sabotage. And Tanchiko Hukabiama, that Mazin Nandekano know better than they do, they were also swept out. Today, if you are serving in the Zoological Republic Army or in their police, the best thing for you is to stay out of the southeastern part of Nigeria. If they send you for anything, any day they send you for any mission in Biafra land, take off your uniform and go home. Take off your uniform and go home. Run away if you can. We are not telling you to come and join us and fight. No. We have enough men on the ground. We have enough volunteers, more than enough. All they need is equipment. That is why we are calling for support for ESM. We are calling for support, fundraising everywhere. That is why we are crying for support. We have more than enough men on the ground to protect Biafra land, defend it. If they send you to come to Biafra land to come and take the life of your own innocent people, people who are only asking for a legitimate right, self-determination, and they send you after them, please, for your own sake, take off that uniform and take a run. The time that we are in now, this information have been coming. While Mazin Nandekano was with us, he pleaded and even gave an option, even gave his support. But the state we are today, we have talked enough. It is no longer time to beg. I'm only reminding you of what our school ambassador have said in the past and what our spokesperson have said. We are on liberation mode, and Biafra struggle has entered into a full-time armed struggle. Enough of taking life of Biafran people, enough of using our life to cement their one Nigeria. Most of the time you see them talking about that one Nigeria. What they mean literally is to come and take the life of Biafran. They have been doing it time and time again. They do it time and time again, off and on. All they do is to come and take our life. And what do? We complain. We cry out. We shout to the world. We provide evidence to Amnesty International. We provide evidence to the United Nations. What did they do? They keep silent. They never mention it. But when something happened in Europe, in Asia, in America, you see United Nations singing about it, including people in Zoological Republic who begin to promote it that help them to announce it everywhere. But in that Zoological Republic, innocent life are being lost on a daily basis. Nobody cares. Nobody, even as you're watching the video, they are still busy taking the life of innocent people in the Zoological Republic. A country that is not meant to be. The more you continue to sustain it, the more you continue to sustain debt, the more you continue to sustain poverty, the more you continue to sustain failure, the more you continue to sustain backwardness. The only legitimate and the right thing to do now is to end it all. Let every indigenous tribe go their separate ways. Go their separate ways and build a nation that they can defend, a nation they can hit hand at their chest and say, this is my nation, I can die for it. Nobody in the Zoological Republic can die for the Zoological Republic. No, nobody. Nobody can die for it. That is why fraud have increased. Nobody can die for the Zoological Republic. That is why fraud have increased. The man who came all based on the fraud that he's going to give you, you're going to stop corruption. Today, he is the most corrupt man in the world. His government has become the most corrupt government since the existence of Nigeria. Today, they even steal openly. They don't even hide it anymore. They don't hide it anymore. They steal and they defend it and they talk about it. Go and see the budget they read. The budget they brought at this time around. Go and check out. I shared the video on my platform. Go and listen to it. Then you will see why you must get out of the Zoological Republic. And I can't go come and the Biafran people are not relenting. We are not looking back. We are not deterred. And the Wotowoto brothers are still doing the same. Our Wotowoto brothers are fighting on their own side, making sure that they're going to go home. My brothers and sisters, any place you're watching me from, please, what you have to do today, you see, let me tell you, some people will be saying that there is hunger in the land. Hunger has always been there in the land. As long as you are in the Zoological Republic, hunger will always be there. And it will continue to increase, it will not reduce. The hunger in that Zoological Republic will not reduce, it will continue to increase. The only way to stop that hunger and poverty is what? To end that contraption called Nigeria. When you end it, you end hunger, you end poverty, you end all the troubles you are seeing. It will end automatically. But the more you continue to prolong the freedom of the people, the more you continue to hold on to the one Nigeria, the more you are prolonging your suffering, the more you are prolonging your hunger, the more your hunger is increasing. Most of us love our belly more than any other thing. But this time around, it's a time for you to endure. It's a time for you to do. For a very long time, I've been making on my broadcast, I used to tell people, get the necessary things you need in your home and keep it around you. Every necessary food appliance you need, food equipment that you can lay your hand on, keep them, stock it up, stock up food for yourself. When we say it, people think it's a joke. We are heading to the liberation of Biafra. It has started already, and it's going to increase as the day go by. It will intensify. It will intensify. And nothing can make us change this movement. Nothing. Nothing can make us reduce the speed. Nothing can make us to say, tomorrow we are not doing. No, we are not like the Nzama people that have been there before. The autopiloted IPOB, autopiloted by Chukwu Kabema, under the spokesmanship of Mazisa Maneba, the Biafran spokesperson, and on the leadership of Mazin Nadikan, we are not moving an inch. We are not moving an inch. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying. It doesn't matter what anybody wants to do. It doesn't matter your angle you're coming from. It doesn't matter what you feel or what you think. We are going home because it is clear that the only solution to the problem we are facing today is what? Disintegration of the Zululand Republic. Nobody can give you a solution. It doesn't matter whom you plan to make the president. It doesn't matter who become the president. It doesn't matter. Whoever you make the president, you make it worse. Whoever you make the president of that Zululand Republic become more foolish than any other person you have seen. Please, as I have always said, if you want to join the broadcast, keep your phone in this form. When you keep your phone in this form, make sure that you click your rotation on. That is the only way you can come on the platform. When you keep your phone in this way, you click your rotation on, then you can be able to come in. I'm seeing so many invitations to come in. When I invite them, they can't be able to come in. I know that their phone is not positioned very well. That is why they cannot come in. When you position your phone properly, you can be able to come in and make your contribution. So as I was saying, the struggle that we are in, the liberation that we are talking about is something that concerns every one of us. It's a time of liberation. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or you don't believe it. It doesn't matter whether you agree or you don't agree. What matters is that the people who are concerned, the Biafran people, they want to go home. They want to go home. We want to go home. We have been in that cage for too long. We have been in that cage for too long, and we can no longer be there. We have been in the cage for too long, and we can no longer be there. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying. It doesn't matter whatever strategy anybody is bringing. It doesn't matter the lie that they are telling. They cannot change us. They cannot change our focus. They cannot change our direction. They cannot deceive us anymore. And they can't stop us. You cannot stop the coming of Biafra. All you got to do is to key in. All you have to do is to key in. And if you don't want to join the struggle, you don't want to key in, keep silent. I beg you in the name of Chukwu. Keep silent. Go about whatever you want to do. Face your own business. Whatever you feel is right for you, face it. Face it and let the people who want to get the Biafra continue on their path. If you are not interested, no problem. It is not compulsory that everybody must be interested. But when you become a stumbling block, when you now make the agitators your enemy, your brother who you know that he's making an impact, your brother you know that he's standing firm, your brother you know that he's speaking genuinely about Biafra, instead of you supporting him, you are bent on attacking. You spend that time, the energy you are going to use to fight for your freedom, you spend it on fighting against your brother. What does that show? It shows that you are worse than the enemy itself. It shows that you're mad. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You see people, you spend your precious time to begin to demonize your own brother. You spend your own precious time to begin to talk evil about your, and lies, peddle lies about your brother. Even when you yourself don't lie. And the more you tell your own lie, the more that your brother continue to progress. The more people continue to listen to him. The more people continue to see reason why they should listen to him. And yet you are not seeing the handwriting on the wall. Biafra is going to come. Biafra is going to come. And so many people who have already decided that they will not be in Biafra will not be there. I always say it. We will not be held responsible for your blood. Your blood will be upon your head because you brought curse upon yourself. So many people who have sworn and say, over their dead body will Biafra come. The time has come. A date has given for your burial. All you got to do now is to help your family and provide for them what they are going to use for your burial. That is the only help you can render to your families. Those of you who have said that over your dead body will Biafra come. Some have said that instead of Biafra not to come, instead of Biafra to come through the autopiloted group, that let it not come. It is going to come. The only thing that will happen is that when the Biafra comes, you will see it, you will hear it, but you're not going to step your foot there. Just like it happened to people in Israel. When the Israelites were murmuring against Moses, Moses was there to take them from the land of Egypt to the promised land. So many of them murmured. They attacked Moses. They called him names. They called him names. They called him a deceiver. Called him different kind of name. Every single one of them that murmured against Moses, that attacked him, they were not alive to enter into the promised land. So many of them saw it. They saw it, but they could not step into it. And the same thing is going to replay. In this generation, it's going to replay. It is going to replay itself. Keep on deceiving yourself. That is your business. For us, we are not forcing anybody. It is not by force. Every single word we are saying here will bear us witness on that day. That is why we have to speak. Just like we are speaking to the United Nations, every day you see us making broadcast, shouting, the whole world is here. We are speaking, and the world is here. The world is bearing us witness. The air that we breathe is bearing us witness. Everything around us is bearing us witness. Every video I make today is bearing witness that the Biafra people spoke. We cried when we had to cry. We complained when we had to complain. We called on them when we had to call on them. We asked for peace when we had to ask for peace. But they choose otherwise. It is very clear that nobody is listening. Nobody is listening to the plight of the Biafra people. Nobody is listening. Instead, they are intensifying the attack. They are intensifying the attack, knowing fully well that the appointed time of Chukwu has come. We are following the time and we know what the time is. And this time can never slip away from us. The time that we're in, it can't slip away from us. Some of them think it's Anambra state election. This is not Anambra state election. This is not Anambra state election. Some of them thought it was when Mazen Nandekano was there, when Mazen Nandekano was here, when the Department of Support to us surrounded Mazen Nandekano and they were not allowing him to take decisions. When Mazen Nandekano brings an idea, when Mazen Nandekano make 100 steps, they will bring him back 50. Mazen Nandekano will make 50 steps, they will bring him back 100 times. This is what Mazen Nandekano will be facing, fighting all alone by himself. Mazen Nandekano has been alone for a very long time. That was why when he came out and began to cry for 100 men, when Mazen Nandekano will be crying for 100, you wondered, why was the leader of IPO be someone that is leading the largest movement on the planet Earth today? The largest movement on the planet Earth is led by Mazen Nandekano, and yet he was crying for 100 men. That should speak volume to you. Should speak volume to you. And today, the game have changed. Those who were born for the mission are now on board. Autopiloted, without nobody goes to their home to call them. Nobody invited them. Today, you see today they have reduced in their shenanigan of saying old member or no old member. You don't hear that from their mouth again. You don't hear that so much again. Are you a member or you're not a member? You don't hear that again. That one have died natural death. That was the one they were using to threaten people. They wouldn't want you to talk. First of all, they will ask you, are you a member? Are you an old member? If you say you're a member, they ask you, are you an old member? Just to make sure they cage people from talking. But thank you, just as Mazen Nandekano break the bars in the Zoological Republic and gave people that confidence to speak. Mansa Monekpa came to IPOB and break the ban. Today, everybody can speak their mind. Everybody can talk. The same thing Mazen Nandekano did in the Zoological Republic.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you, if you come and stand in the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We'll crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold the whole of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals, they're saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You have to go everywhere. We must continue.